Andrew Luck, in his first 3 seasons in this league, took an unholy amount of punishment. I've never seen anything quite like the punishment.
Literally every game there was a hit that he
How can a franchise allow your franchise player to take so many hits?
would take that would make you think, oh, this guy's got to be in pain.
And the only way I see out is to no longer play football. It's taken my joy of this game away, and sorry.
Bruce Arians has coached some of the most dominant quarterbacks to ever lace him up in Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Ben Roethlisberger. And yet, Arians believes none of these guys could even touch Andrew Luck's greatness.
Do you know Andrew Luck is just about eligible for the Hall of Fame next year?
But opinions like these will forever keep Colt fans up at night, because Luck never had the chance to reach his full potential.
And I know what you're saying. I mean, Colin, come on. You only played for about 6 years.
This is the tragic story of Andrew Luck's career. As the son of former NFL quarterback Oliver Luck, Andrew dealt with sky-high expectations before he was even old enough to start preschool. He spent his early years overseas, as his father was the general manager of 2 NFL Europe teams before becoming the league.
If you're going to let compilers into all these Hall of Fames, people who were very good and played for a long time,
President. And that's where Jack Elway, who was John Elway's father and Stanford football's old head coach, made a bold declaration. He watched as a 3-year-old Andrew played with a football before declaring he might be a player. Joking or not, it was Luck's first football evaluation and a sign of big things to come. But the Lucks didn't return to the U.S. until Oliver took a job in Houston, and Andrew was now 10 or 11 years old.
Andrew Luck did something I don't think Brady or Patrick Mahomes, Favre, Bradshaw, Aikman could do.
Time Luck was a sophomore in high school, he had become the starting quarterback. That year on the Gridiron, Luck showed off his unique combination of strength and athleticism by throwing for over 1,500 yards and rushing for 700 more. As
he took a horrible roster and went 11-5, 11-5, 11-5. In fact, 4 Pro Bowls in 5 years. They never had a losing season.
A testament to him being mature beyond his years. And with the added pressure from being the face of the team, Luck rose to the occasion by throwing for just under 3,000 yards and 27 touchdowns, while adding 714 yards on the ground. That season was his national coming out party, as he was named to the Rivals.com All-American team for juniors, top recruiting service
when he was healthy, which is remarkable because according to PFF, the Andrew Luck era had the 28th best defense, the 24th best rushing game, and a bottom 6 offensive line. And he got to the AFC Championship.
How can the Colts drop the ball so many times?
Luck shine on the field, but he also excelled off of it. Luck had a perfect GPA and finished off as the co-valedictorian of his graduating class. Colleges across the country were desperate to get his attention. As well-rounded of a recruit as they come. His high school coach said Andrew is the ultimate team player. He has lots of talent, but shies away from taking the credit. He's a very humble person who always puts team before anything else. Not only did Luck...
What do you think? Did Andrew Luck decide to attend the university for dream of the NFL or scholarship?
That had strong academics. So with that in mind, Luck narrowed down his list to schools like Stanford, Northwestern, Purdue, Rice, and Virginia. And the summer going into his senior year, he committed to Stanford. Embodies the balance and excellence of the Stanford scholar athlete. But being a quarterback headed to a Power 5 school, career by throwing for over 2,500 yards and rushing for 671. In 3 seasons, Luck finished with 7,139 passing yards, 53 passing touchdowns, and 2,085 rushing yards. Here, Luck was forced to watch from the sidelines as he was redshirted. And for someone who has always been hailed as the golden child, it was the first time Luck's life wasn't picture perfect. This motivated him to go that much harder in practice and during the ensuing offseason. When Luck returned,
You could achieve the impossible when you're the underdog? Press 1 if you agree.
To campus for his redshirt freshman year, the coaches had no choice but to do something they hadn't done in nearly 15 years. As just a freshman, they named him the starter. He took over a team that was coming off 7 consecutive losing seasons, and during that stretch had a 25-55 record. To an 8-5 record, as he racked up 2,929 yards of total offense, the 5th most in program history.
You're not going to believe what Luck achieved in just his second year in university.
4 in the nation with a 12-1 record and an Orange Bowl victory. Luck broke John Elway's old school record for most touchdown passes in a season with 32 and set another for most yards of total offense with 3,709. A school record for career total offense with 10,387 yards and broke another of John Elway's records with 82 career touchdown passes. in total wins and win percentage, and with his degree now in hand for the 2012 draft. Heading into the draft, Luck was universally viewed as the unquestioned top prospect. He had the ideal size at 6'4", 234 pounds to go with superb athletic traits that allowed him to run a 4.67 40-yard dash and have a 36-inch experts even went as far as labeling him the best quarterback prospect they had ever seen, on the same level as Peyton Manning or John Elway.
Been doing this since 1979. He's the highest-rated quarterback since John Elway in 1983.
That after a 2-14 season, the Colts decided to move on from their franchise icon Peyton Manning, who missed the previous season due to a neck injury.
And I never viewed it as replacing Peyton. I just viewed it as an opportunity to play quarterback in the NFL. You know, it just so happens, one of the greats of all time was here before me.
And drafted Andrew Luck with the first overall pick.
In the 2012 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Andrew Luck.
And from the moment they drafted him, the Colts saw Luck as their new starting quarterback and the face of the...
Andrew Luck has shocked the Lions.
And from day one than he did. And this played into people jumping on Luck after the Colts started the season 2-3. And to make matters worse, he had thrown just as many interceptions as touchdowns.
You're playing all this man-to-man coverage down the field. Look at this hole for Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck is good enough to make a play with his legs.
When our backs is completely against the wall, we have no choice but to let it all go.
So he went out and led his team to 4 straight wins while only throwing 2 interceptions. The game seemed to slow down for him as Luck was finally starting to look like himself.
Motion out of the slot to the left side. And that pass is going to be hauled in by Fleener. Came across the formation.
The season, which set a record for a rookie quarterback drafted first overall. And it was his 5th game-winning drive, which tied the rookie quarterback record.
Luck rushes off the hit, goes down the field to Hilton, who makes the catch, but was the inbounds. They rule it a catch.
Luck started all 16 games that season as he led the Colts to an 11-5 record and a playoff berth, even though they fell to the...
And it's Luck running at himself, and he's in. Touchdown, Colts.
Off the charts. If Luck plays well, often Indianapolis finds a way to win. Luck downfield. Touchdown, Lavon Brazil.
To 3 wins in 4 games with only 2 interceptions. This also gave him a 14-6 record as a starter, which tied John Elway for best record through 20 games as the #1 pick.
Luck and the Colts from their own 36 with a fresh set of downs. Steps up, long look, and he's got Hilton for the touchdown.
Quarterback. Luck kept the good times rolling, leading the Colts to another 11-5 record and a playoff berth. Not only by raising his completion percentage by 6% and cutting his interceptions in half. Luck also set an NFL record for most passing yards in his first 2 seasons with 8,196.
Here on the near side, 30. 2nd and 10 for Luck. Throws on the run. Moncrief has it for the touchdown.
Center. After the Colts fell behind by 28 points, he orchestrated the 2nd biggest comeback in NFL playoff history and largest to end.
Wayne against Roby again. Luck looked that way. Now to the other side. He can run, and he proves it right here.
In regulation, all thanks to his 433 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. Did more of the same from him as he led Indy to its 3rd straight 11-5 record and playoff appearance. On his way to making level, throwing for 4,761 yards, which was the 3rd most in the league, and a league-high 40 touchdowns. This broke Peyton Manning's franchise record. 8th player in NFL history to throw for 40 or more touchdowns in a season. In the post career, Luck looked superhuman, and the sky was the limit for him. There seemed to be no way he wouldn't go on to win multiple...
Already 2 touchdowns for Brown, and they give it to him again. And he fumbles the ball, and Luck is there to pick it up and go over the goal line.
Are you kidding me?
Super Bowls and become a Hall of Famer. But while Luck continued to progress with each season, the same couldn't be said for those around him, specifically the players who were supposed to be protecting him. In his first 3 seasons, Luck was sacked 130, being star quarterback.
There's only so many QBs that you can put your hands on them and he's still looking down the field.
Lineman in any of the 3 drafts following Luck's, and only drafted 1 in the second round. And that second rounder was Jack Mewhort, who was out of the league after his rookie contract. In fact, they even traded away their 2014 first-round pick for Trent Richardson, who went on to be one of the biggest busts in League 2 games for the first time in his career due to an injured right shoulder. He returned in Week 6, but Indy's problems were far from solved. Despite low muscle, the injuries kept him out for the remainder of the season, and without their savior under center, the Colts failed to make the playoffs. If they weren't already aware, this showed Indy just how much Luck meant to their success. So in that offseason, they signed him to a 6-year, $140 million extension, with $87 million guaranteed. The deal made Luck the highest-paid player in the league. Although
How do you run offense without protection?
16 season, motivated to prove he was worth every penny of his new deal, he was a lamb to the slaughter. In 15 games that year, he was sacked 41 times, just 1 off the league high. And this lack of protection even led him to suffering the first concussion of his pro. Luck in 2017 didn't take a single snap. During the season, he even went to Europe to try to fix his shoulder that just wouldn't seem to properly heal. 2018 season opener. Not having played a game in 616 days, nobody knew.
Are you ready to be shocked?
Surrounded by uncertainty and even doubt, Luck led the Colts to a 10-6 record and their first playoff berth in 4 years. He finished 5th in the league in passing yards with 4,593 and 2nd in passing touchdowns with was officially back, or so it seemed.
There were a couple times I don't know if I want to play a football game. I don't know if I can play football again.
The following season, during Indy's 3rd preseason game, in a scene that looked like it was from a movie, news leaked that Luck would be retiring. The sports world was completely shocked, especially Colts.
I've been in this cycle of injury, pain, rehab, and I felt stuck in it. It's taken my joy of this game away.
Do you think Andrew Luck with a solid offensive line would be able to win 1, 2, or 3+ Super Bowls?